right, so she knows or she thinks that her husband hasn't taken that step yet to cheating, but she does think that he's on the path, and she wants our help to just figure this whole thing out with To Catch a Cheater. Kristen has the email.
Yes, I do have the email, and I'm pulling it up right now.
Indeed you are.
Oh, where are we? Here we are. Could you help me with the situation? I have some suspicions about my husband that I need to investigate. And my first course of action is to approach you and request your War of the Roses. I realize you need details in order to consider my request. I do not want to mislead you. Should we tell people what War of the Roses is in case they don't know?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Why don't you guys go ahead? I'm out of words.
War of the Roses is where someone thinks their husband is cheating on them, so they reach out to the Bert Show. We have a fake flower company that reaches out to them with a number of flower arrangements to choose from, like Red Hot Love and then like the ones for your side piece. And then they give them a coupon, allegedly, and we send flowers, supposedly, but we don't. And we see, are you going to send it to the mistress, to the side piece, to your wife, to the person you're actually with, or are you cheating? Like, whoever they send the flowers to we have our answers.
That's your indicator.
I know dumbasses are never going to listen to this, but dudes, if you ever get this offer, all right, always send it to your wife, period, and don't think twice. Make
simple.
sure we never do this segment again. It'd be fantastic.
Facts.
All right, I realize you need details in order to consider my request. I do not want to mislead you. I want you to know that as of this moment, I don't think he is cheating, and I don't believe the other party involved has done anything wrong. However, I feel that my husband may be inching his way into very inappropriate and dangerous territory.
What did we call this a couple of weeks ago? This came up. Was it pre-cheating or something?
I don't remember.
You called it pre-cheating.
Pre-cheating.
Yep.
Okay.
Professionally, my husband is a very successful person and seems to have a lot of influence in his industry and his own company. He directly oversees multiple employees, but is also indirectly involved in the hiring and management of other employees. I have noticed that when a position is not of huge importance that requires skill or experience, he often hires young, attractive, and easily influenced women. I have often felt uncomfortable when around him with these employees because there is often an awkwardness. It's this weird sense of feeling like I'm not in on a secret. I've never had any proof that something has happened, so I have never accused him of anything. If anything had ever happened with him and these young women, I feel the blame is on him. I can't fault these young women when they are starting a career and a person of power makes advances.
Can we stop there for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Let's debate that for a second. So if he is cheating and there are other young women that he's cheating with, does he bear all the responsibility on that if you're a woman and you're the wife?
Well, in this instance, if you are in a power position at work and these women feel obligated
they don't
not-
feel like they can say no?
yes.
You there?
And that's exactly what she's saying.
You there with that, Davi?
No, I get what she's saying, but at the same time, she's like, I don't think my husband's cheating. I just think he's inching towards it. And because he hires young women with not a lot of experience, like that's the transgression. That's what worries me
Yeah.
is like having a wife that acts this way and is married to a man in power is just as bad for women as, like, I understand she's trying to look out for him and be like, a young woman can't involve, like it's man in place of power, blah, blah, blah. She's trying to be understanding, but at the same time, you're kind of inching towards being a lady misogynist in a way.
You're essing on young women who
Yeah.
need to have a job to start their career.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to be at some point in time when you first start unexperienced, and hopefully somebody gives them a job and they don't have a wife that's like, no, you can't hire young, unexperienced women.
That would hurt a lot. And especially for a company, most companies have an entry level position, one that doesn't require all the experience and all of the time and all of the knowledge and skill set. You gain that while you're doing it. So why can't they be hiring young people?
As of the current situation, he recently hired a young girl for an assistant position. He left his laptop open the other night, and I saw an email chain where he was coordinating getting her cubicle moved to be right in front of his office door, which, from my understanding and the understanding of the person he was emailing with, makes no sense based on what this new hire will be working on. I've also looked up this new hire, and she's only 20 years old and very pretty. I also know that my husband has had 2 lunch meetings with her over the last week, which is also unusual. So I'd like to see if he would choose to send flowers if given the opportunity, and I would like to see what he would write to her. Can you help?
Damn. The stakes feel high on this.
And there's a lot of assumptions being made.
Yeah.
Yeah, she jumped to a lot of conclusions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like if she sends the flowers and then that boss is thinking, man, we've had so much turnover in that position. I really want to send these flowers to Julie to say thank you for joining our team or something. She'll still be like, he's cheating. And I'm like, that's not fair. Like,
Right.
Bert, you've sent flowers to all of us, I think, on Valentine's Day, or I guess Amy did it, but whatever.
That is 100% true. But I did tell her to send them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think Tiffany would be like up in arms about that and think you're cheating. Like that's just a nice thing for a boss to do from time to time. So I hate that she's thinking so ill of her husband and this woman.
If you get rocks for Valentine's Day and they're from me, then you know that I've delivered them.
You did it yourself.
I ordered it myself. If you get really nice flowers, you know Amy did it for me.
Okay.
The Bert Show.
That's a cheater. She said to us a couple of days ago in an email that she doesn't think her husband is screwing around yet. But she's starting to get some indications that maybe it's coming, and she wanted to try to stop it if it indeed was happening. What's your name, Tommy? Meredith, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Hi, thanks for coming on with us. Thanks for putting your relationship in our hands. All right, so we did have some debate on your email yesterday because if I remember correctly, you're saying like, you know what? All he does is he hires these young, pretty things that don't have a lot of experience. And that was one of the reasons why you thought that he might be screwing around. And I think it was Davi that brought up that that's kind of a dangerous message.
I mean, it's hard for women to get a leg up in any industry if not only we have to worry about, oh, I'm trying to break into a boys' club, I'm trying to break this glass ceiling, I'm trying to get paid enough, all these things, but you also have to worry about the wife of your boss, like holding you back. Like if you're sitting there going, oh, that guy got promoted over me, blah, blah, blah. But then to actually, at the end of the day, also have a threat in the women that are in those men's lives that should be like shifting them more towards more acceptance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you start off on a job and you're young, you don't have any experience. So those are things that you're being discriminated against, being young and being pretty. And might be what's going on here, Meredith?
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed a pattern, and I've just seen, like, anytime he hires someone, a position like that wouldn't require a lot of experience, he's hiring these young women. And, you know, I certainly can't speak to their qualifications, but they're all very attractive and young, and I just think that leads to people being easily influenced. And it gives me kind of weird vibes.
I'm sure your husband is handsome, but why do you think everybody wants a piece of him?
Well, I mean, just from some of for example, if I've come into the office, some of, like, the body language I'll get from some of these employees, it's like this weird, almost like they have a secret. And I know that sounds kind of paranoid, but, like, that's just the vibes I get.
I wonder, and I haven't read the results here yet, so you might be 100 and I don't know. But I also wonder if this is sort of your narrative. You know how, like, when you have a narrative, you see everything that's going down as that plays into your own narrative and maybe not realistically. Could that be going on here?
Well, you know, possibly, but I will say that the current person that I'm talking about, that he's been, I don't want to say, like, behaving inappropriately, because, like, there's nothing that he's actually done that I could call inappropriate, but it's heading in that direction. He's been having lunch meetings with her recently. Even though they don't work closely together, this is somebody that's an administrative assistant that does not report directly to him. So I don't see any reason why they would need to meet privately for lunch. And then he requested to have her cubicle moved to be the closest one to his office. But again, they don't work, closely with one another. So I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. And the person, and I came across this in an email, he was a chain he had with her, and then a third person that they work with, and that person didn't seem to understand the reasoning either. So these are, like, more specific things that have, you know, kind of piqued my curiosity. Seems like a red flag.
All right, if there was one woman that you're most threatened by, that you're, like, really nervous about, what would her name be? Just first name.
Ooh. Should I give her a real name?
No.
Just her first name.
No.
Why not?
Okay.
We don't know the
Why?
office.
I
We don't
mean-
know the office. She's on the voice
But
disguiser.
we have plenty of people who listen who can kind of piecemeal this, like
Well,
especially the specifics of there was an email chain and they're moving cubicles. That's a lot of specifics.
Yeah, we're just looking for Meredith in the who he sends the flowers to, and if I don't say Meredith, then that kind of
Well, in a second, we're going to tell her exactly who he's sending them to, like we do every week anyway.
Yeah.
He sent them to a woman's name, blank. So I'm just asking you, like, if
Okay.
it was sent to this person, that would be the most nerve-wracking one to you.
okay.
I see what you're doing.
See what I'm doing?
yeah.
here?
Yes,
Let
I
him
see
cook. Let
what
him
you're
cook.
doing, but I'm trying to be protective.
Yeah, but Bert wants to say, like, if he says he's sending them to Julie, and she could be like, "That's his mom," you know, like that's nice that her birthday's coming up or something. But we want to know who's the hoe.
Yeah.
Who's the hoe at work?
Who are you most concerned by?
So I'll give you her initial. Her first initial starts with an S. Her name starts with an S.
An S. Okay. All right.
All right.
Results?
Okay, I will go to there. We sent a fake promotional email to the email address that Meredith provided us for her husband. He was offered a free bouquet of flowers and was able to choose from several options with pictures. Number 1, cactus makes perfect. Show your encouragement to a friend, coworker, or loved one with this charming collection of assorted cacti and succulents.
I do love a good succulent.
Number 2, you make me Daisy. The most cheerful basket of white daisies will drive anyone crazy with delight. Number 3, mum's the word. When you don't have the right words to use, express yourself with flowers. This lovely arrangement of pink roses, giant sunflowers, lavender mums, and white carnations is the perfect way to express what's on your mind. Number 4, as time rolls by.
Oh, Tracy.
No, come on. Tracy's on fire. On fire.
This classic bouquet of long stem red roses are a passionate choice for someone you want to spend all of your time with. In exchange, he was asked to share 10 promo codes for 30% off a future order with his friends and or family. The first promotional email was sent at 9:18 a.m. He did not respond. The second email went out at 12:43 p.m. He finally ordered flowers at 1:47 p.m. to be sent to Erica.
Okay, that's good. That's good news.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Is that good news?
Well,
It says
no.
this is the new coworker that Meredith is nervous
So-
about. So she gave us the real initial, but Tommy gave
Yeah.
her a fake name.
And her real initial does start with S.
So
Oh, I get what's happening.
Erica's
here.
real initial starts with S. So
It was sent to the person that she.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
we were trying to do what I was doing
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
which
Don't do
was be
that.
protective. And now we've got
Bert.
this whole thing so confusing.
So this is the one that she was really most nervous about?
Yes, this
Yes.
is S.
Okay.
Oh,
Because her real
This
name
is
begins
S.
with an S.
We'll call her
Okay.
S
All right.
for salute.
Oh my God.
But what does the note say? Maybe all hope is not lost.
Okay, here we go. He did not pick the roses, like the long stem roses, so there's that. Instead, he chose mum's the word. When you don't have the right word to use, express yourself with flowers. This lovely arrangement of pink roses, giant sunflowers, lavender mums, and white carnations is the perfect way to express what's on your mind. The note on the card is to Erica. I know I keep saying it, but you really are something special. So glad we found you, Aaron.
Some wiggle room here.
There is.
Is it?
She's a new hire.
She's a new hire.
and she's crushing it. This could easily just be a professional. Really glad we found you.
And he shows you so much love on the daily that he was thinking, you know what? I got these free ones. You know what? When's the last time your husband sent flowers to you?
You know, I mean, he buys flowers. I mean, you know, anniversary, birthday, you know, Valentine's Day. But like, he's not the. You know, he does it when he knows he's supposed to, and not. You know, oh, I'm thinking of you. Here's some flowers. So I don't know. Just sending them to another woman, even if it's a colleague, even if it's. It just feels weird to me, and you know, I don't know if I should. Now at this point, I'm like, I wonder if I should ask him about it. And it's not, you know, he could have chose one of those other options that were less romantic, like cacti, I guess. You know, that's a very, from us at the office. But I don't know, that just seems semi-romantic, and I just don't, even the message, like, you're special, like, why would you?
But he
That
said,
just seems
so
like-
glad we found you. So that's
So-
That's true.
But that's what my problem is he said, so glad we found you. But in the first sentence, I know I keep saying it, but but you're really something special. Why not? I know all of us keep saying this, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but we think you're something special. We're so glad we found you.
If I was a new hire and my boss sent me this with this card, I would be creeped out.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
100%. I know I keep saying it, but you really are something special. No, man, that would creep me out.
Yeah, he lost me in the first sentence, and then he tried to get me back with the second one, but I'm like,
You can't be dragged in.
You got to bring it up to him. Talk to him about
Yeah, I think you do got to bring it up to him, okay?
Thank you guys.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I
Sorry.
know what I know. I just don't know what I'm going to say.
I bet. Well, I mean, you just found out, so give yourself some time. And we would like to check back with you as well, okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much for helping me, guys.
All right, it's the Bert Show.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show for free. Just listen to The Bert Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.